Let's make this Italian herbs and cheese sourdough bread. So delicious, so soft, perfect for sandwiches or anything you'd like. So we're going to start with 150 grams of sourdough starter, and to that we're going to add 350 grams of warm filtered water to speed up the process a little bit. And then we're going to mix those two ingredients together. My sourdough starter was actually a little bit on the thicker side today, so I made sure to mix it really well with my dough whisk, and then I go in with my spatula. So I put 500 grams of bread flour, and then I add 10 grams of salt, and we're going to mix these ingredients together until they're very well mixed. So here I go in and mix it with the spatula. I like to mix it with the spatula because I can scrape off all the excess flour from the bowl and clean it nicely. So go ahead and try it if you haven't. It's almost life-changing. It makes it easier to clean the bowl after I'm done mixing my dough. But you go ahead and mix your dough. It's going to look very dry and shaggy, but just keep mixing. It's going to come together and then it's going to look like this. We're going to cover it with a plastic bag or anything that you have, and we're going to wait an hour before starting on our inclusions. So we're going to start off by adding about 3 grams of dry basil and about 3 grams of Italian seasoning, and you can put how much you want, 3 to 5 grams. And then I added 100 grams of Colby Jack cheese right before doing the stretch and fold. So we do one stretch and fold, turn it over, and then add a little bit more cheese. And then I stretch the dough again. And when I stretch it, you can see that all the cheese is coming down, but I'm gonna mix it better in a little bit. I'm just gonna add the cheese really quick. So I try to put the cheese in and stretch the dough, trying to, incorporate all the ingredients together. It didn't really work the first time around, but right now I'm gonna add all of the cheese, and then you'll see how I kind of use both my hands to get all the ingredients together. So here you'll see I use one hand to hold the dough down, and then I pull it over, and then I turn it around and I do the same thing. And I felt like it helped so much to get all the ingredients into the dough. So I did that a few times until I felt like all the ingredients were distributed a little bit better. And then I just let it sit on the counter for 30 minutes before I started on my second set of stretch and folds. So on the second set of stretch and folds, you're not going to add any more inclusions. You're just going to go ahead and stretch the dough as you would. My dough was kind of on the drier side, I think because of all the spices. So it was kind of hard to stretch out. So we started to just grab the dough and, fold it against each other, and it just worked. So do what you think is best. There's no right or wrong. We're all learning here. So I did that a few more times, and then I waited another 30 minutes to start on my third set of stretch and folds. On the third set, I did the exact same thing, just stretched the dough as best as I could. This dough smelled so delicious. I couldn't wait to bake it. So I let it sit on the counter so it could finish bulk fermenting, and after a few hours, this is what the dough looked like. It was nice and domed, it wasn't sticky at all, and when I flipped it over to put it on my mat, it came off the bowl real easily. So I decided to not stretch out the dough so much, like how everyone stretches out the dough into like a square or a rectangle, because I saw a video on TikTok where it said you let your dough bulk ferment and it has so many bubbles, and if we stretch it out so much, we're just deflating everything, all the progress that we just did. So I kind of wanted to try not to spread it out too much and see what happened. So I just put it on the mat and I just kind of gently stretched it a little bit, not too much of a rectangle or a square, and I just kind of shaped it very gently. The dough wasn't sticky at all. It was like perfect. So once you're done shaping your dough, you want to flour a banneton and put your dough in there and cover it with a clear plastic, anything you have, a t-shirt. put it into the refrigerator overnight. That's what I like to do. I like to leave my dough overnight, at least 8 hours. I feel like it gives me the best results. And I just flour the top a little bit, put it into a Ziploc bag, and put it into a refrigerator. And then in the morning, I preheat my oven to 450 degrees with my Dutch oven in there. And then once it's preheated, I take out my dough, I score it a little bit, and I put my dough into the Dutch oven and I bake it at 450 degrees for about 30 minutes. And then I take the lid off and bake it for another 5 to 10 minutes. So you just have to keep an eye on it, see what you like. If you want to do 5 minutes, you can. If you want to do 10, you can. It's just all preference. So this is what the dough looked like when I took off the lid. And then after 5 to 10 minutes, this is the end result. It is so good and it smells amazing. You guys will totally love this recipe. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.